Greetings, my name is Arvin Comawas, and this is my report for mean and standard deviation. So, first we have the mean. The mean is a measure of central tendency that represents the sum of all data points divided by the number of data points. Right here is our formula. So, in order to calculate the mean, supposedly you have given the following data points: 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11. Now, to get the sum, you have to add all of the given data points and divide it by the total of the given data points, which is 5. So 28 divided by 5 is equals to 5.6, which makes the mean for this given data set 5.6. Next is the standard deviation. Standard deviation is the statistical measure that quantifies the amount of variation or dispersion in a set of data points. It indicates how much the individual data points differ from the mean or the average of the data set. Now we have two types of standard deviation. First, we have population standard deviation, which is a measure of the spread of all data points in a population, and the sample standard deviation, which is a measure of the spread of data points in a sample taken from a population. So, standard deviation. These are the given formulas. We have the lowercase sigma, which is the population standard deviation symbol, and the n, which is the size of the population, and the x sub I represents each data point in the population, and the mu, which represents the mean. For the sample standard deviation, we have S, which is the sample standard deviation, and for the size sample, x sub I represents each data point in the sample, and x bar is the sample mean. Now, in order to calculate the population standard deviation, you must follow this formula. Supposedly, you have been given the following data points. So 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. Now, first we need to calculate the mean. This is the following, and this is the answer. Next is to find the square differences from the mean. So 1 minus 6.2, 2 minus 6.2, and so on and so forth, equals to 5.2 squared, 4.2 squared, also so on and so forth. And these are the following answers. Now, next is we have to find the sum of the square differences. So all of your answers over here, we need to sum all of it, which is a total of 148.8. Now next is to divide by the number of the given data points, which is again 5. So 5 here also. Now next is to this is the answer for the sum of the square differences divided by the given data points. Next is to take the square root of the answer, which is 5.4. Next is the sample standard deviation. Again, you have to follow this formula, and supposedly you have been given this following data points: 3, 1, 4, 1, 5. Same as the population standard deviation, we must first calculate the mean. So sum of all this divided by the number of data points equals to 2.8. Also again, find the square differences from the mean. So 3 minus 2.8 squared, 1 minus 2.8, and so on and so forth, equals to 0.2 squared, 1.82 squared. Square all of these answers, and you have these answers right next to it. Now, again, for the third step, you must sum all of these squared answers, which is a total of 12.8. Next is to divide it by the number of given data points, which is also 5, which equals to 2.56. And lastly, take the square root, which is 1.6. Once again, my name is Arvin Comawas, and this is my report for mean and standard deviation. Thank you.